didn't see you there. You look like you want to learn about granite. Let's take a look. Granite. Everyone knows what it is. Stuff on your countertops. Come on. This is granite the rock before the countertop. Pretty cool, right? As geologists, we familiarize ourselves with granite and other rocks by assessing the minerals, their phases, their concentrations, like muscovite and biotite. Of course, everyone knows what quartz is, but other minerals as well. Orthoclase, albite, and plagioclase, all part of the feldspar series. One thing that we do as geologists to assess these minerals is we cut this rock into very thin sections, which are conveniently called thin sections. And what we do is we take these thin sections and we look at them with a petrographic microscope. Let's take a look. Ah, the beautiful thin section. What you're looking at here is 2 mica granite. As we rotate the stage, notice colors change. Each one of these minerals is unique to this rock. Their concentrations, as well as their orientations, help us to determine the name of this rock. Minerals such as quartz, biotite and muscovite, feldspar, specifically orthoclase, and plagioclase, are found in this rock. You can see that some colors are dull and opaque, while we have others, like at the bottom of the screen, that were bright, like Easter colors. These colors are specific and unique to each mineral, and these, along with other varying factors, help us to determine what that mineral is.
Here we have some muscovite, and you can tell by the high biofringence of the mineral and the multicolor as well. Around it you see some albite. You can tell by the twinning, which is by the 2 alternating colors. And then right around you can see the quartz, which as we turn it, becomes dull and not. And it's just, quartz is pretty standard in all minerals.
So here we have an augmented reality sandbox. The sandbox was built for new students to learn about topography maps. On topography maps it has contour lines just like these. The contour lines explain the elevation changes on a map, but on here you can see into a 3D aspect. If you change the land formations, you can see the contour lines changing, just like a topography map would show the contours of this different environment. You can keep on changing in real time. So let's build a volcano and show you the physics aspect of what the AR sandbox can do. Here we have a mountain. I'm about to build a volcano, the crater in the center of it. Add some, say, water, see if it got closed off after a while. It's an old volcano. And there's some water or rain being added to the top of it. So there's a lake on top of the crater, and see the side erodes away, and you can see the physics of the water going down the mountain. As the change of the contours can show it.
So, there are times when you guys come back from the field and you need to collect samples, and a rock is another rock, but you don't really know what it is until you break it open. So, that is when you have to cut them open. You think it's a little arbitrary, but it actually helps us a lot as geologists. So what we do is actually do something very, very rudimentary. We cut them in half, and you'll see right now. But first, the protection. So as operating all machinery, you can't wear hats in the lab. You gotta keep pants, shirts, no open toes, as well as the protective eye gear. Keep that on. And lab coats, should you need it. If you have long hair, also keep it in the back, but let's be honest, I don't have any locks. Okay. And as I get ready, come a little close. First off, you gotta get your sample, your rock sample to be specific. This is what you're gonna cut, and this is what you're interested in, finding out what is inside it. So, as we refer here, we have the rock saw, which we're gonna use to cut the rock. First, you gotta make sure everything's plugged in, and make sure everything's connected. Then, with the power off, you gotta turn on the water. Here, we have valves off and the valves on. And here is the minor valve, which we slightly turn on, slightly because it does come at high power. As you can see right here, it's kind of you have to adjust it. But once you get it right, once you get it on the actual blade, then we can actually start cutting rocks. It is plugged in, so now we can turn on the machine. The machine's gonna throw a lot of water at you. And this is where the fun part starts. You're done cutting the rock, you turn off the machine, and then you turn off the water. Now you can remove your glasses. Whew. And once we're done, we look at the fruit of our labor. So originally our rock was pretty dinky, not that cool. But when you open up it inside, it's rather neat. Cheers.
This is the Department of Geological Sciences analytical invariant X-ray diffractometer. We just call it the XRD. It works on the basis of taking a raw sediment sample or a rock sample, or you can use things like archaeological artifacts. Put in, it is an X-ray beam that goes in at an angle and reflects off the surface of the sample and collects in a detector, and that gives you the exact chemical composition of whatever mineral you're looking at. So you can determine if it's a piece of pottery, you can determine the types of paints used, the types of minerals in the clay that are used to make the pottery. If it's a sediment sample from the ocean, you can determine the types of clay, so you can determine the origin of those sediments as they get deposited on the bottom of the ocean. So the machine runs its X-ray scan, and you get a data report with all the information on it, and you also get a graphical scale. So each point on the graph indicate a very specific chemical composition, but each mineral has its own chemical composition. So when you see a specific scan, and you can match up points on here with different elements of different minerals, so you can determine what your sample is going to be. Each mineral has its own distinct scan pattern, so you can determine that by running it against the database to determine content. scale. Things you would not be able to see with a regular laboratory microscope. Has several different detectors, so we can do different types of analyses on rock samples, living plant and animal samples, anything that you want to look at in a very small microscopic scale. We have the ability to zoom in, we can take photos, we can analyze the chemistry to determine the chemical composition of something that's being sampled in the chamber. It can tell us a lot about an individual rock or a plant, what kind of elements are in it. If it's a plant, maybe how much nitrogen it's receiving. If it's a rock or a mineral, it can help you determine if you have gold or certain types of unusual elements, or if you're just simply looking for things like pollen grains or diatoms, or if you're looking for oil or the processes that occur beneath the earth. You can look at all of that in a very small scale on the microscope. I'm going to set up a sample and show you some pictures.
Dr. Rathburn, what are you going to show us today?
Well, I'm going to show you my laboratory, such as it is. We're in the midst of getting it organized, but we've got folks working in the lab, and I'll go over a little bit about what we do in the lab and why we're doing it.
Okay. So I can follow you, or?
Okay. Yep. So come on in. Hello. So we got folks working in the lab. This is the paleontology, micropaleontology lab, paleoceanography lab. And what we do in here is remove microfossils from samples using microscopes. We also analyze data in here, geochemical data as well as microfossil data from various locations around the world. Jason, for example, is working on material from Australia. Brandon is working on material off the coast of California. We also work in material off Antarctica, off Brazil, off Venice, Italy, in the Venice Lagoon, and elsewhere in the Pacific. We have a -80 freezer and another regular freezer in the lab as well to help preserve samples. And typically, if I can move over this way, we house these samples in containers like this, where we've got various samples contained. So each of these has specimens in each of these microslides, and we store them here. And our research is related to environmental concerns. So we look at contaminants, so how these organisms that we look at are the microfossils, how they respond ecologically, geochemically to their surroundings. We also look at these creatures from the deep sea as well to assess how the oceans have changed through time, how climate has changed through time, and how they respond to various parameters such as oxygen, productivity, temperature, and grain size, that is substrate characteristics, that we can then use to interpret how the environment has changed through time. This is related to both oil research in the sense that organic carbon accumulates in low oxygen environments, and those are the kind of environments that we're looking at off the coast of California, and trying to figure out how these small microfauna, these small creatures, foraminifera, are responding to those environments, and then applying that to questions regarding the microfossils of the past, so we can assess how the environments have changed. This is also related to global climate change, because oxygen minimum zones, for example, have been predicted to expand, and we want to see how these organisms, how the seafloor will respond to those changes.
Hey Austin, go on!
It's good.
No!